I mean, you think like months of just feeling miserable. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah, it's.
Now I see you're drinking your a little Dunkin' Donuts there. Is that the pumpkin spice, the leftover?
No, I totally forgot about that. I forgot about that. They still have that, huh?
Yeah, they still had it out there. What was funny is have you seen that woman they call the food babe? She does like a lot of claims. She was the one that claimed that Subway puts like yoga mat material into their bread because she confuses chemicals and food.
Oh, so chemicals.
Because there's the same, because one chemical is in one and it's in the other. So she goes, well, that means they're putting yoga mats into your Subway sandwiches. Like, well, do you realize like hydrogen is in everything? So
are they used yoga mats?
Right.
Or
they're the ones from the high schools they grind. But one of the things that she came up with that really made her look stupid was during with the pumpkin spice, craze last month and everything with Halloween, she was like, do you know that they don't actually put any pumpkin flavor into the pumpkin spice drink? And she made this big deal of it, and they came back and said, right, we put pumpkin spice in it. Pumpkin spice is actually a spice. It's called pumpkin spice.
Really? And that's why we named it that.
Right.
What a concept.
And she's like, yeah, and they were like, we never claimed there was pumpkin in it. There's pumpkin spice. It's, just
it's amazing the stuff that people will do just to get publicity.
Well, they throw themselves on Facebook so they can get all these likes out there, and then of course people see it and they're like, oh my God, I can't believe they'd rip us off by not putting pumpkin in there. It's just
unreal, crazy stuff. What about this weather, man? Is this nice?
Yeah,
it's a nice
liking
change.
this. Yeah,
but I can't wait to see my lowered FP&L bill this month.
Oh. Well, yeah, because you're not running the heat at all, right?
I love it.
I don't know.
I leave the windows open.
Yeah,
I'm one of those people. I like to be like cold and then just snuggle up. It's so much nicer that way.
I love it. I sit out on the balcony in the morning, nice cup of coffee. Because I like being outside, but just with the humidity and stuff, it's just nasty out. Even sometimes when it's cooler out,
right?
But you still have that humidity. But now when it's like this, I love it. But I tell you, my feet. I don't know. Is it just old age or blood
lack
pressure?
of circulation?
My feet. The rest of my body could be warm. My feet will be just like freezing.
You need those thermal slippers, right?
I like the sound of that. probably selling them right now, right? So TREU Radio, Treasure Coast Real Estate Unleashed this morning. Here with us, obviously, as always, George Matter, Scott McAllister. Carol Morgan is taking a little break this morning. She's out there shaking that moneymaker, helping her clients out. So we got some great topics. Don't forget you can go to TREUradio.com. You can actually watch us live in the studio. Now, that's not your typical way that you spell TREU. And why is that, Scott? Why was it just my dyslexia, my lack of education in high school that I didn't learn how to spell the word true?
Well, there are those things. But,
those things too, but that's on a different subject.
But we like to put the E first, and that's because we like to educate, and that's the whole point. We like to educate ourselves, educate our customers, our listeners, even our friends and family. I find myself enjoying when people ask me, not for advice. You have to be careful when you're giving advice, but when just people ask you about the market and you're knowledgeable about it, you'll see two or three other people, 4 or 5. Next thing you know, there's a circle around you because you're talking about things that everyone's interested in. And obviously, where real estate goes is where the economy goes.
In the middle
So
of the circle, the pivot man.
Oh yeah, it's really great. It was last night. The Palm City Chamber had their Christmas party, and it was
nice.
It was nice. It was over at one of the over on Corporate Way. And it was really weird, though. They had the food was upstairs on the 4th floor, and the bar was in the lobby. And then you had to take the elevator. So you got your drink, then get in the elevator, go up. You see people going up and down the elevator to go between the food and the
That's
bar.
So that you work off the alcohol.
Right, Someone discovered that they could use the stairwell, and then it was pretty fun.
Nice. The food was good, though?
It was very good. And the Palm City Chamber is a very active chamber, very friendly. We signed up with them over the summer, and I've been to a number of their events now, and I like working with them. It's a good group of people.
Yeah, and a lot of realtors.
Surprisingly not. I mean, there's a lot of business people. There's two other Keller Williams agents that are part of it.
Okay.
And then I've met two other realtors from 2 other companies. But surprisingly, not as many realtors are taking advantage of the the networking that goes on there. Because I've already done some business, and then I just, like with my health insurance, I needed new health insurance. I was able to hook up with somebody there that she does that and really explained it well. Because I'm a smart person. I got a biochemistry college degree. I've studied science and all this stuff. I looked at my options for insurance, and my eyes started blurring. I'm like, what? It just
Is
none
it
of it
is it that many options or that confusing?
There's so many options and they're confusing, and it's like there's this deductible. This deductible only applies in this circumstance, and so I was able to say to somebody it's like we were talking about with real estate. You do what you're good at. Your one thing. I'm like, I'm not an insurance agent. I shouldn't try to puzzle this out myself. Find a professional.
Let them.
And that's why if you come to us with any questions that we don't know, we don't want to try to give advice on things we don't know. What we do know, though, are the people who know those answers. I don't know, all the answers, but I know I can go to George and say, hey, do you know somebody who knows this? And I'm sure he's going to,
that's why networking is so important.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I think so few people take advantage of there's so many networking opportunities out there,
Now, that's what the great thing about going to those organizations, there's more that you can shake a stick at. Mm-hmm. When I was out there doing it, I mean, you could go to a different networking event every single day.
They have BNI, you have you have those, you have the internationals, you have the women's councils of realtors,
Kirk work and all kinds of stuff out there. But it's good because when you need something, there's typically always somebody at one of those. Like what now? Did she say anything about the difference between the standard versus this Obamacare thing that's out there? Or?
Well, the Obamacare, you have to make under a certain amount to really benefit from it. Otherwise, you pay a premium on top of it. That's not because she was telling me about a couple that they were insistent on going through the marketplace, but they made over like $100,000 a year, and so she's like, yeah, but it's going to cost you $1,200 a month, and I can get that cheaper. Through a regular deal than through the Obamacare.
So if I cut my income in half, I can get better health insurance, free cell phone, I get free internet with the computer.
Well, I think you have to make under $40,000 for it to make.
So why would I want to work hard? I could get all this stuff for free and discounted if I.
$53,000 as a family.
Okay, as a family.
Yes.
Yeah. And so
then they'll give you whatever you need.
But. And it was
that's the great world as we know it. I love it.
It made me so ill looking at the prices, and because you look at something for $300 you get nothing. You have the huge deductibles and you get nothing. I mean, it's just, and so you have to keep ramping up. It's like, well, you have to pay, and I'm not going to say what my premium is, but it makes me ill thinking about it. But you have to have it, I mean, you have to have it.
Yeah, what's it, the $25 this year? You penalized $50?
No, this year it's more expensive. It was $99 for this year, and then next year it's going to be like $300 and something.
If you don't have the insurance. And how are they verifying it?
I don't know. I assume they ask you to check a box on your thing, and then they'll audit you if you lie about it. I don't know.
I know on a lot of times if it's a payroll deduction, it'd be reflected on your your W-2s. But if you're self-employed, I'm not sure how.
Yeah, that's why I'm curious. I mean, I'm self-employed. I haven't had health insurance in 5 years.
Yeah.
Because
well, you're paying a $99 fine this year.
Yeah, and I mean it's been scary, but I'm playing the odd that when I do have a problem, I pay $125. I go to the clinic over there and they take care of me. Mm-hmm. So $400 or $500 a month for insurance. That over 5 years, let's see, where
it's a lot of money
at $15,000.
Yeah, so it's. But then you take the chance, So you got to let that.
Nobody hit Tom with your car.
Yeah, right.
He can't afford it.
If you do, make sure you hit me while I'm in my car, so my insurance will cover me. Don't wait till I get out of the car.
Then you can spend all those days going to the doctor and getting rearranged. And that's what my parents are doing. I think this morning they even had to go and go see the physical therapist. They're still feeling the residuals from that accident. And,
how they doing?
They're doing well. They're doing much better. But it's just something that you get these aches and pains that just don't go away. And I think a lot of times people see that, and you tend to think sometimes people are trying to these people are overacting, cheating for the insurance company. You see the people with the neck braces walking around and all that, but you don't realize. I mean, when you get hit, especially when you're standing still on someone, it really that affects you. He snaps your body like that
because your body's completely unexpecting
it. And also when you're older, don't react the same.
So your muscles in your bodies and. Well, we got a great show. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, TREU Radio, on Facebook, Treasure Coast Real Estate Unleashed. Any questions you have, you can direct them right to the realtors. But also, if you want to contact them directly, if you're thinking about buying, selling, investing in real estate, it doesn't have to be today. It could be a week from now, a month from now, 6 months from now. The best way is to always prepare.
Absolutely.
Prepare. But if you have questions for him right here on the show, give us a call, 772-220-9788. That's 772-220-9788. If you have questions off air and want to contact any of the realtors to help out, what's that number, Mr. Scott?
That is our Google Voice account. You call us at 772-444-2590. That's 2590. Leave us a message. If you want to speak to one of us in particular, say who you want, and we will get back to you right away.
All right, perfect. Well, we got a good show for you today. We're going to be talking about George and them talked a little bit about it last week. But there's been some changes, and George is going to give us some updates. But we're really going to break down in detail short sale and foreclosure. Now, right now, the short sale tax break, it says it's passed the House, but according to George,
it is passed the House. It has not passed the Senate.
The Senate.
Correct.
Oh, okay. That's right. On to the Senate.
Correct.
So hopefully, what's the
Can
theory
the government
of it
actually
passing?
get something done with this?
We'll see.
I
believe they go on their Christmas break on December 17th, so that's next Wednesday, I believe. So they really need to get on.
Well, didn't they just heard this morning that they just went through this thing where they were actually thinking of shutting it down, and it went like up to 3 hours before the deadline to shut it down, and now they've passed a $1 trillion.
1.1 trill.
Yeah, and they were joking on CNBC this morning. Like, so, well, about how long do you think that'll last us? About a week or two. Well, imagine, $1 trillion was not even heard of, 50, 60 years ago. Now it's like
pocket change for the government.
How has it changed so much? I mean, we've done so much to make things more efficient, more energy saving, but yet.
I loved when they joked, was it about a year ago? I mean, it was semi-serious, but more tongue-in-cheek. They were talking about coming out with the $1 trillion coin so that they could use that for the debt. Could you imagine if they did, though, and someone stole it? Where'd you go cash in the $1 trillion coin?
Where would you go to that?
Like, show up like, hey, can I get this in ones, please?
go to McDonald's, get a latte.
Most stores don't want to take hundreds, but I got $1 trillion.
Yeah.
Oh, crap, I accidentally put it in the Coke machine. That was one expensive can of cola.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. So we're going to break it all down for you. We're going to go through the details of what a short sale is. What are the benefits? What are the issues for it? What about buying again after a short sale? We're going to break down that. The definitions of short sale foreclosure. So this way you truly understand about what's going on. Talk a little bit about the Mortgage Forgiveness Debt Relief Act, which is kind of how this whole thing came about, but it's been kind of changed and twisted and turned around. I mean, called 20 different things since then, and just all to be ridden on the coattails. So we're going to be focused on that during the show. And on the phone with us when we come back, we're going to also have our other part of our team. We have Carol Morgan on the line with us. So when we come back from our first break, we're going to go ahead and bring Carol on the line. So you're listening to TREU Radio, Treasure Coast Real Estate Unleashed. We're going to take a quick break here. When we come back, more questions, answers, 772-220-9788. TREU Radio.
90% of businesses fail within the first 5 years. Do you have a struggling business? CTL Consultants specializes in helping small to medium-sized businesses get back on track. They'll help you understand how your profit and loss statement works. If used properly on a daily basis, it can be the most powerful tool you have. And you don't have to be an accountant to understand one. Don't use a profit and loss statement? Then you need to contact CTL Consultants today at ctlconsultants.com or 772-882-5700 to get your business back on track.
Why is the back bedroom always so hot?
Because it's the farthest room away from the AC.
Judy across the street has the same house we do. She doesn't have this problem. They had CTL Consultants work with their builder and architect to design the most efficient system. They even designed the ductwork system so that every room is the same temperature. Her house is the same exact size. It has 2 tons less air conditioning than ours, and it feels 10 times better in their house. CTL Consultants, they really made the difference. We should have had CTL Consultants design our system.
If you're a builder, architect, engineer, or HVAC company looking for a true professional to design your HVAC systems and provide proper energy analysis, then you should contact CTL Calcs at ctlcalcs.com. That's ctlcalcs.com. ctlcalcs.com to see how we can help you build a better home.
I'm George Matter of Keller Williams Realty of the Treasure Coast. I've been a residential realtor for the past 12 years, specializing in waterfront and country club communities. If you're looking for the right house to dock your boat, I'm the realtor to call. Please contact me at 772-486-4676 or online at matterrealtors.com. I look forward to helping you buy, sell, or invest in your next home. Please listen to us Friday mornings at 10 a.m. on WSTU.
Hi, I'm Carol Morgan, real estate consultant with Keller Williams Real Estate in beautiful Stuart, Florida, serving Martin, St. Lucie, and Palm Beach counties, and co-host of Treasure Coast Real Estate Unleashed. I have an extensive array of luxury waterfront and single-family homes. If you're looking to buy or sell, please call me at 772-631-1394 or go to StewartHomeListings.com.
Don't miss Real Estate Unleashed, Friday mornings at 10 on WSTU.
Hi, I'm Scott McAllister, General Manager of the McAllister International Team of Keller Williams of the Treasure Coast and co-host of Treasure Coast Real Estate Unleashed, every Friday morning on WSTU at 1450 a.m. I have a full real estate team with specialists in buying, selling, land and equestrian properties, distressed homes, and luxury waterfront. Call myself or my team at 561-756-0891 or online at treasurecoasthomesonline.com.
You are listening to WSTU, Stewart, Jupiter, and Indiantown, Martin County's Heritage Station.
All right, 772-220-9788, True Radio, Treasure Coast Real Estate Unleashed. We are back, and we're talking about the short sale tax break bill. It's kind of floating around in Senate right now. We're going to discuss in detail short sales, foreclosures, why you should, why you shouldn't, and, well, why one would be better than the other. But let's go ahead and go to our phones. We have the lovely and talented Carol Morgan on the phone with us. Good morning, Carol.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Great, Carol. Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Staying
Sorry
warm.
I couldn't make it in this morning. I had a serviceman here at my house that was supposed to have been out of here by 9:30. It didn't work. He just left.
No problem.
And, so I thought, well, I better call in and let you guys know I won't be there.
We haven't figured that out yet.
And dropped something on my cooktop stove, and it shattered.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Hopefully it was like a nice bottle of something that the bottle didn't break.
It was an empty vase of flowers.
Oh, jeez. Empty flowers. We need to get on to your husband and say that shouldn't have been filled with flowers. What's up with that?
It should have been full.
Yeah, we need to talk to Cleve on that one.
Cleve, what's going on, buddy?
The flower shops are open.
Yeah, mine was open. I called over on the West Coast. It's 8 o'clock this morning. Somebody answered the phone at a flower shop over there.
Who are you sending flowers to at 8 o'clock in the morning?
Something from last night?
A little somebody special that I met a couple weeks ago.
There you go.
Unfortunately, they live 2.5 hours away, but it's still, hey, you know what? It's distance can make the heart grow fonder, right? Yeah. Or absence or something like that. But no, so
I love your metaphors.
Thought is always nice.
Hey, whatever it works. Yeah. So I got a dozen roses. I put a red rose in the middle, and then all the other color roses around the outside. And the card says, "Each one of these roses is what I must do to win your heart."
Aww.
So you got the friendship rose, and you got all that stuff. So.
And you know all that, huh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You were trained well.
I was. Somebody trained me well. The problem is they didn't stick around to reap the benefits. So how was? I know you had a big thing for Thanksgiving and whatnot, Carol. I haven't talked to you since then. How was it?
We had a great time. I mean, I had all the kids home, had the grandkids home. Glad I didn't break my cooktop stove before Thanksgiving. But yeah, it was awesome. It was just awesome.
Beautiful. And this weather, I tell you, if this weather sticks around for Christmas, I know. Even though it's not a white Christmas, still a cold Christmas in South Florida is a good one.
I'll stand up there.
I'm loving it. This is perfect.
Yeah.
Hey, let's just get our winter clothes out and our sweaters out again to enjoy the holiday season. And are any of you wearing your ugly sweater? I understand that this week is the ugly sweater week.
Oh, I don't have an ugly sweater, but I'll have to find one.
I'll let you be the judge of it, but I'm not wearing it.
Maybe
now.
We'll have an ugly sweater party like that commercial on TV.
Yep. Up in Chicago, they used to always have the ugly sweater pub crawl. And it would just go down like Lincoln Avenue to all the different bars. And I mean, these people that would compete, some of these sweaters were really out there. I mean, it was nice. People would have like giant ornaments, sewn into these things.
They sell full suits and tie made of the ugly sweater material.
Oh.
It looks awesome.
I like that. I like that.
I want to see you wear that next week.
If I could afford one, I'd have it.
There you go. Yeah, I was watching it on Good Morning America this morning while he was trying to fix my stove, or trying to see if we could even get a replacement part for the stove, which we can't, so we have to buy a new one.
Ouch.
But yeah, to the tune of about $1,100.
Ouch.
That's a bite at Christmas time.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, right?
Yeah, Merry Christmas to me. I just bought myself a new present.
Yeah, there you go. Then, so unfortunately, that stuff has to happen. Your homeowner's insurance wouldn't pay for that, would it?
Well, not when you have a $1,500 deductible.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, sure.
Well, we'll all get ugly sweaters and go over and cheer Carol.
Yeah, maybe we need just to be here next Friday. We do the show with Ugly Sweater Show. So we make everybody have to watch us here.
I have to be careful.
I don't have any ugly sweaters. You gonna buy me one?
Sure. Yeah, that's Scott and I will go out and get you an ugly sweater, Carol. No
As long as you wear it.
And are you going to wear it?
Yeah.
That would be a hoot, wouldn't
As
it?
long as you wear it.
That's the thing. We each get each other.
There you
an ugly
go.
sweater.
Yeah. And then we have to wear it live on the air. Well, that'll really make.
Nobody sees us.
I like that.
You have to be careful though, because I saw this, this older lady wearing like a really awful sweater, and I almost blurted out like, "Oh, that's such a great ugly sweater," and then I'm like, "No, she probably really likes it. She probably really likes that
her
sweater."
favorite.
That was smart.
Right, like bite the tongue.
That's like the woman with the little bump in the front. You go, "Oh, how many months pregnant are you at?" Oh, I'm not pregnant.
You have to be very careful when you say that.
Yeah. Are you going to hang on the phone with us, Carol, or are you just calling in just to say hi?
I can hang on for a few minutes.
All right. Good. So what we're talking about today is we're going to briefly just kind of touch on the short sale tax break that has passed the House. George had a little bit of information on us. Now, I hear it passed the House quite well.
Yes.
Yeah, it passed last week, and it passed almost unanimously. I mean, it was like 99% approval.
Now, do you think with such strong approval that it's going to blow through the Senate as well, or do you think we're going to have a little bit more opposition on the Senate?
The word is it should pass the Senate, but you never know.
Yeah.
You never know. I guess they kind of do the straw poll and stuff, and it indicates that it should get through.
Okay.
Problem is you get one politician that throws something else in there, and then it turns people, but the indication it should
it should be pretty strong bipartisan,
Yeah.
because it's something that affects everyone of all political affiliations. So
right
now, what are the specific details? What we're going to do is we're going to talk about what actually brought about the tax break, which goes all the way back to a bill that was started in 2007 by Mr. George W. Bush, Mr. Bush. But what exactly are they trying to do with the short sale tax break now? What was the purpose of it?
Well, they're just trying to reinstall the same one that they had, and I think there's a couple little bonuses in there. But for the most part, I mean, if anybody sat down and thought about the whole thing, the whole scope of the act, how do you 1099 somebody for additional income when they haven't got enough money to pay their mortgage payment?
Right.
Yep.
And how are they going to collect the taxes on that?
And truly, it's not money that they actually received. It was
Right.
something that was waived. And in the past, the government looked at it. Oh, if a company waives an expense to you, it's treated as income at basically 15%.
Right.
So it's really a hidden income, which you never did have.
For those who might not understand, let's explain what we're talking about in the sense of that what they're talking about, the income is what you're forgiven in the short sale. The amount that you were forgiven was considered income.
Right. So let's go through the definition of a short sale for folks out there. So the Wikipedia definition of a short sale. A short sale is a sale of real estate in which the proceeds from selling the property will fall short of the balance of debts secured by liens against the property, and the property owner cannot afford to repay the lien's full amounts, and where the lien holders agree to release their lien on the real estate and accept less than the amount owed on the debt. Now, I actually short sold my house versus foreclosure, and I mean, I made out like a bandit.
Well, that was how long ago was that? A couple years ago?
That was about almost 6 years ago.
6 years ago, okay.
5 to 6 years ago. House $236,000, short sold for $110,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
100% of it was forgiven, the taxes on that, and I got a $3,000 check at the closing table.
Wow.
There was a program out, I think it began with an H or something like that.
Hoffa.
There you go. That's the program. I was on the Hoffa program. The minute I talked to, it was actually Bob. I forget what his name. He was only with Keller Williams for a short period of time.
Aubrey.
Bob Aubrey. Yeah, Bob Aubrey. He was my realtor, and he went and did some and talked to Patch Reef Title and talked to them, and I guess the young lady that was doing the short sales and stuff like
Probably
that.
Hope.
Yep, exactly. Hope Good. And so he went through all the stuff with her, and she was like, usually most people don't qualify. She says, but this is a slam dunk. And within only a couple weeks, they got a response back from my lien holder that they would approve it and everything was be fine. I was like,
Couple of weeks, that's almost unheard of.
Yeah.
well, I mean, the short sale took a lot longer, but they got a response back
From
that
the
I
offer
would
program.
qualify for it.
Yeah, but even getting responses
Yeah.
out of these banks sometimes is pulling
It
teeth.
was phenomenal. But I had been through quite a bit. I mean, I actually worked with them. I tried loan modifications. I did a bunch of stuff. I mean, so I had been gone months and months and months and months with these people. But they forced me to stop making payment on the house.
Mm-hmm.
Even with the loan modification, they still made me, because it was like, well, I think it was Hope that said, if you're not 6 months without
don't
making a
qualify.
payment, they won't even qualify.
You're not the squeaky wheel.
Yeah, it's like, well, and to it.
The first time I heard that, I was like, so you have to ruin your credit before we can even do this? I'm like, wow.
You got to ruin your credit before you're going to ruin your
Right,
credit.
right.
But
Well, you don't have to.
go ahead.
Today, you don't have to do that.
You don't.
Today, you can. If you can have, even though it's a struggle, if you can they look on that favorably and know that you really are trying, if you're trying to make a payment or a partial payment, or even keeping the HOA current. Now, I just got approval on one where she was paying the payments and made the HOA, but she had no money left to live on. So they approved it.
Wow.
They approved it. So she was current the whole time. Didn't damage her credit at all.
Oh, it's good that they're at least getting smart about that now, because what's the point of, there's such a struggle to rebuild afterward that what's the point of making it even harder?
Right.
Yeah, and and that's the whole purpose of the short sale, is to help folks out with that, and as opposed to going into the foreclosure.
In the expensive foreclosure, an average foreclosure costs the bank between $30,000 and $40,000 of legal fees.
On top of possibly the loss of what that.
Absolutely, it doesn't increase the value of the property. It probably reduces it because the seller leaves in anger. They may do damage on the way out. So that's one of the big benefits to doing the short sale. The sellers leave in with dignity, and they basically leave the home in pretty good shape.
Right.
And I couldn't imagine. I mean, it's kind of like winning a car or something like that in the lottery, where you win something like that, you're still responsible for the taxes on that.
Mm-hmm.
But this isn't quite like winning the lottery, but it's still, I'm going to give you something, but I'm going to make you have to pay $15,000 to get it.
Right.
I really?
Didn't Oprah do that on one of her shows? She gave away a car to everyone in the audience, but they were responsible for the taxes, I think. Everyone was like, well, thanks, but I can't afford $4,000 in taxes to buy the car.
But it's like, why would?
But I do believe on that, so they give you a cash out option so that you can take the money out of your
Oh, yeah.
cash.
I would, exactly, at that point, I'd be like, well, fine, I'll just take the cash then.
Yeah, I don't know.
But still,
I guess
yeah,
it's
that's
one
funny.
of
I
the
know
things
what
that
you're
just
saying.
doesn't make sense to me. Like what you're talking about. I mean, even though that there was a dollar amount difference there, for you to take, $120 some $1,000 in taxes on that, that's a chunk of change.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, if you can't already afford to make the payment, how are you going to afford a $15,000
Tax bill.
Yeah.
You can work out payments.
Oh, great.
Yeah, great.
Perfect.
So the next 15 years, you're...
So I'll have a 30-year mortgage on my taxes.
While you're living in your Roach Motel, right?
Exactly. Oh, this is crazy. Well, there are some benefits. Let's talk about some of the benefits of short sale. The nice thing is that, well, you're in control of the sale. And that's got to be a big difference with you guys. I mean,
It's a huge plus.
you guys working with the bank versus working with the homeowner.
It's a combination of both.
Right.
You certainly, the homeowner still has to provide many documents of, financials and things like that. So you are working with both, but you certainly have control of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Sleeping better at night knowing who is buying your home.
Yeah.
That's a big thing.
And as everyone was saying before, when you, especially for realtors, when we're going in, the difference between what you see in a foreclosed home as far as the condition and the short sale homes, because even if people don't trash the house on the way out, they don't, you're not going to spend time cleaning it up and keeping the place neat. You go into, I've been to a lot of short sales where the place is absolutely gorgeous, and people are, they still are maintaining the home.
And the yard, so it doesn't hurt the neighborhood. Basically, they still show pride of ownership, generally, right down to the day they move out.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, big difference. I like that.
I mean, it's so much better to stay in your house. And the bank looks at it that way. I mean, it's better to have them in than to have an empty house. And an empty house, of course, when it's not being taken care of, a lot of times I've had them to where they broke in and they stole the appliances. We've had ACs taken.
All the copper wiring ripped.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so you're better off to maintain and stay in the house, and I think the bank looks at that favorably.
Good. And then obviously another one with Carol just mentioned, contrary to popular belief, you can be current on payments and still apply for a short sale.
Yep. And that was the government's reasoning behind where they set up where you said that you got a check at closing for $3,000. That was the reasoning behind it, is it's beneficial to the bank that one of the stipulation is you maintain the home, and basically when you move out, you leave it in good condition. You don't strip the appliances. You don't damage things on the way out.
Right.
So that's, for $3,000, it's a benefit to the bank for you to leave with dignity.
Yeah, and a lot of it is, I mean, it's just numbers in the air. That the house is still the same house it was 5 years ago as it is 5 years later. So that the house is no different. It's just a number that's in the air that somebody has put on the house based on how the economy is.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm handing you $1 and you're handing me 10 cents back.
Right.
I mean, literally, but it's a figurative number.
It's just like a house is no different than buying a stock. What makes a stock valuable at $100 a share compared to $10 a share? It's supply and demand, where the business is doing, how the economy's doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very similar.
That's why I always for stuff like that, it just always bewildered me with that. I mean, I don't know. I guess they have to be a PhD in something to understand, in economics to understand a little bit better, but there's all kinds of the weird stuff. So what about buying again after a short sale? Is it actually, well, let's go ahead. We got to take another break. It's that time again. So when we come back, we're going to do Hot Around Town, and then we're going to talk a little bit more about how it's going to affect how short sale could actually be a little bit better for you afterwards than a foreclosure, and some of the changes on that. We have Carol Morgan on the phone with us.
I'm going to leave. I'm going to have to go because
All
I
right,
got to go to
Carol.
the office. So have a great one, guys.
Have a nice weekend, Carol.
All right, take care.
You too.
All right, Scott McAllister, George Matter, Carol Morgan, who just left with us. I'm Tom Platania, your host. 772-220-9788. True Radio.
Hi, I'm Scott McAllister, General Manager of the McAllister International Team of Keller Williams of the Treasure Coast and co-host of Treasure Coast Real Estate Unleashed every Friday morning on WSTU at 1450 a.m. I have a full real estate team with specialists in buying, selling, land and equestrian properties, distressed homes, and luxury waterfront. Call myself or my team at 561-756-0891 or online at treasurecoasthomesonline.com.
I'm George Matter of Keller Williams Realty of the Treasure Coast. I've been a residential realtor for the past 12 years, specializing in waterfront and country club communities. If you're looking for the right house to dock your boat, I'm the realtor to call. Please contact me at 772-486-4676 or online at matterrealtors.com. I look forward to helping you buy, sell, or invest in your next home. Please listen to us Friday mornings at 10 a.m. on WSTU.
Why is the back bedroom always so hot?
Because it's the farthest room away from the AC.
Judy across the street has the same house we do. She doesn't have this problem. They had CTL consultants work with their builder and architect to design the most efficient system. They even designed the ductwork system so that every room is the same temperature. Her house is the same exact size. It has 2 tons less air conditioning than ours, and it feels 10 times better in their house. CTL Consultants, they really made the difference. We should have had CTL Consultants design our system.
If you're a builder, architect, engineer, or HVAC company looking for a true professional to design your HVAC systems and provide proper energy analysis, then you should contact CTL Calcs at ctlcalcs.com. That's ctlcalcs.com. ctlcalcs.com to see how we can help you build a better home.
90% of businesses fail within the first 5 years. Do you have a struggling business? CTL Consultants specializes in helping small to medium-sized businesses get back on track. They'll help you understand how your profit and loss statement works. If used properly on a daily basis, it can be the most powerful tool you have. And you don't have to be an accountant to understand one. Don't use a profit and loss statement? Then you need to contact CTL Consultants today at ctlconsultants.com or 772-882-5700 to get your business back on track.
Hi, I'm Carol Morgan, real estate consultant with Keller Williams Real Estate in beautiful Stuart, Florida, serving Martin, St. Lucie, and Palm Beach counties, and co-host of Treasure Coast Real Estate Unleashed. I have an extensive array of luxury waterfront and single-family homes. If you're looking to buy or sell, please call me at 772-631-1394 or go to StewartHomeListings.com.
Don't miss Real Estate Unleashed, Friday mornings at 10 on WSTU.
You are listening to WSTU, Stewart, Jensen Beach, Hope Sound, Martin County's Heritage Station.
Treasure Coast Real Estate Unleashed, 772-220-9788, the number to call here at the studio. But if you'd like to contact the realtors directly to ask them any questions, maybe have them help you.
Not any question.
Not any question? No, I'm going to say
There's a
any
limited...
question. And if,
I'll answer a lot of things.
If it's a non-real estate related question, the hours are between 1 a.m. and 6 a.m. that you can call directly. Make sure you call multiple times so the phone rings all.
I do answer Star Wars trivia questions.
You do?
So that's why I'm very good at that.
So how old was Jabba the Hutt?
472.
72. Wow. And obviously you've already watched the trailers for the new
Oh,
one.
yeah.
Talk about useless information.
Yes.
Wow.
Ever since I remember my mom dragged me kicking and screaming. I mean, I remember the day I saw Star Wars. I was at Cub Scouts, and I didn't want to leave. We were having fun. We were doing some activity. And she's like, I'm taking you and your brother to see Star Wars. I'm like, I don't want to see it.
So it's your mom's fault.
Kicking and screaming, yeah. And then I'm at the theater, and I wouldn't leave. I'm like, can we stay? I want to watch it 10 more times.
I'm noticing a pattern with you. Once you're there.
Too funny. Yeah, that actually looks like it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. Any of the old characters coming back?
Yep, they're all coming back.
What about the old characters, like the original Star Wars? Anybody going to be cameoing in it?
Yeah, no, the three.
No, I meant from the original Star Wars.
Yeah, the very first Star Wars. Yeah, Carrie Fisher.
Oh, they are.
Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford. All three of them.
Oh, really? Okay.
The guys, Anthony Baker and the Daniels, who do the who were R2D2 and C3PO are in it. Just about a lot of the major characters.
How are they going to? How are the other guys? Hamilton. How are they going to come into play?
They haven't explaed yet, but we just know they're there.
Well, I think the original three were supposed to be the main characters in the new movie, and then they passed the baton.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's going to be good.
I would be curious to see. That's what December.
I am a nerd. Yes.
December 2015, right?
2015.
Yeah. So that should be a good. That'll be a huge opening, guaranteed.
Absolutely. Sure.
Especially because Disney owns that now, right?
Yeah.
So they're probably going to put their twist on it.
I've got plans to go out to friends of ours. We're meeting out. We're going to go out to Vegas, and we're going to go see it out in Vegas, like the premiere out in Vegas.
Oh, wow.
Planning your vacation
around Star Wars. Yes.
Wow.
I am a nerd.
You got to have something in life, right, George? All right, so let's
back to real estate.
Back to real estate. Let's get to hot around town. So let's start with the McAllister team. Scott, what's hot around town for the McAllister team?
Well, it's been as far as getting out and listings and everything, we're not really hitting that again till the beginning of the year. This is a real nice slow time for us in real estate. We still got a few buyers that we're working with, but we're taking a lot of time to spend time with the family and and do a lot of that stuff. It was really nice. And I just wanted to say that. But I really think, you hear people talking about being thankful, but I have to say, I had a little situation earlier in the week, and I wanted to say how thankful I was because I made a phone call to family and friends that have said, I need help, and everyone just was there to show up to help me. And, when you have that much support from your family and friends and to be able to take care of a situation and turn a bad situation into something positive, it really makes you, I'm very thankful for the people that are in my life. And I just,
George, did you get a phone call?
I did not.
I didn't get a phone call either. So he said family and friends.
Right.
Since neither of us have got a phone call, I'm just...
Yeah, but
we're not family.
We're not. I must not be friends. Then. Okay, no problem. No, don't talk yourself out of it.
You're the guy in that commercial who's like, "Hey, I need help moving." I'm sorry, I got a cold. Sorry.
Well, good. We're glad everything worked out, though. Yeah, and I tell you, family. I miss family, and family is important.
It is. It's great, and I'm also very just thankful for the health of my family that they were able to pull through everything so well.
Better.
So, yeah, just that's the I'm in that mood right now. I'm just being very grateful.
I tell you, it's the time of year. Mm-hmm. It is the time of year. Be grateful. How about you? How's the Matter team doing?
Yeah, actually, it's becoming a team. Actually, my wife just joined my team. Actually, signed up December 1st to be a realtor with me.
Wahoo!
And she's going to be doing it full time after the first of the year.
Excellent.
So the team is growing. Also, I want to talk about a new listing that I have. It's 88 Aqua Ra. It's a half of a duplex, a 2-2.
88 Aqua Ra?
Aqua Ra.
Is that an address?
It's an address.
It's an address.
Yes, it is.
Wow.
And it's a half a duplex in Jensen Beach. It's on the water. You could dock probably a 35-foot boat behind the property. I have it for rent for $2,200, fully furnished for seasonal, or it's on the market for sale for $219,900.
Beautiful.
So the development has a private beach. It's a really nice little property.
When's it available to rent?
Tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Well, the seasonals are so hard to find. Especially
my preference would be to sell it.
Yeah, I hear you, but
now
I know dockage is so
I got a question for you. I was reading in one of the real estate news articles that popped up, and you probably saw it because I know you get it too, where they're trying to put a thing out there about boats being anchored within a certain distance. How do you think that is going to affect real estate in your from your view?
Actually, we talked about that a little last week.
You did.
The homeowners are really up in arms because so many of these people go dock or drop an anchor and stay behind people's homes for weeks or months at a time. Yeah. The boats get dilapidated.
There's some nasty boats out there too.
There's some beauties, but there are some dumps.
Yeah.
So I think if it's something that's on short term, I don't think it's a factor. But if they look to stay there for the long term and not maintain it, I think it certainly it hurts the value of the homes.
Yeah.
When you're selling those homes, you're selling the view, and you come out and people are looking, and you're like, "Hey, what's that eyesore?"
Yeah. There's $1 million view if you don't look there.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I was raised in St. Thomas Virgin Islands, and we lived on the east coast of the island at a place called Compass Point Marina, and there was a big lagoon there. So we lived on a 34-foot boat at the dock, but then sometimes we'd take the boat my stepfather worked for a sailboat charter company as a mechanic. So if there was all the boats in dock, we weren't able to stay at the dock, so we would anchor off. And there was some boats there. When you say houseboat, that's what we used to call them. They were basically somebody put a couple pontoons and they just sat there with plywood and stuff and built these little shacks. And these boats that had no
like a shack on pontoon.
Like a shack on the water. And some of these boats that had no masts, they were sailboats, but they had no masts. They were there for years.
Only half of it floating.
Yes.
And then when it does sink, it just stays there. They just kind of walk away or swim away.
Yep. I mean, because you don't. I mean, but you think about it, they do it because it's cheap. You pay no anchoring fees.
Nope.
You pay no taxes. I mean, if you paid a couple $1,000s for the boat. Basically,
you lived on the boat?
Oh yeah, we lived on the boat.
I always thought that would be interesting. I've ever since a kid watched with Miami Vice, and Sonny Crockett is on the boat. I'm like, it's got to be interesting.
It was awesome in the beginning until my mother had 2 more kids. Ooh. So what a 34-foot boat. It was a sports fishing boat. Okay, so 34-foot sports fishing boat's not that big.
It's a nice sized boat
With
for
five
for the
people living
weekend.
on it?
For
There
the
was well, it
weekend.
started out with me and my mom and my stepdad, me and my sister. That's what it started out with. Well, when you walk into the cabin, on the right hand side there was a sofa that the back opened up into the bunks. That's where me and my sister slept. Then when you go down into the galley, which was literally only like 4 foot wide, that you walked right into the V berth in the front. I mean, so
Right.
very, very tiny. Well, then she had 2 kids. So on the left-hand side when you walk in is where the 2 cribs were. So 6 people on this little boat. And when we'd anchor at the dock, it was a big tourist community. I mean, Polynesian restaurants, you had grocery stores in there. I mean, the place was gorgeous. Now it's a dump. I've been back 5 times.
Were you diving for quarters from the tourists, you know?
Cleaning the conch shell.
The lagoon was nasty, but no, I used to catch shark in the lagoon because the lagoon was nasty. So I'd take a milk jug and I'd tie like a 1 foot snapper to the end of it and I'd throw it out on the bow of the boat and I'd catch lemon sharks, hammerhead sharks, and everything. And I'd pull them in and we'd hang them up over by the restaurant for the tourists to see. But you'd be sitting there eating dinner and just tourists walking down the dock and just sitting there watching you eat dinner and just. I mean, I was between the ages of 5 and 12, but
It's an interesting way to
yeah,
go.
it was. But yeah, when I saw that on there, I was like, I guarantee you, in this community because this community is probably not as forthcoming as St. Thomas community was. Yeah,
I haven't seen a ton of it myself, like around.
When you go
here,
over the
but
bridges,
is that where?
Yeah, when you go over like the bridges and you look off like the Jensen Beach causeways and stuff like that, you see a lot of them anchored out that.
Manatee Pocket, actually, they put a time frame. I believe it's only 2 weeks that you can anchor in there. So if you come in there, you have a limited time.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how they're policing it, but there's definitely signs out there for a time frame that you can stay there.
Yeah, and it's I mean that's something that if I voted, I would vote for, because if I lived on the water like that and I was going to pay that kind of money to have that view, there's no way I would want to look out there at some nasty boat.
But right over here by the Roosevelt Bridge, they do have where you actually pay for anchorage. Where
you do?
They
Okay.
have buoys that is run by the city.
Okay, good.
They drop pylons down there or moorings that you tie up, and you pay over like a monthly fee. Then also you can go into the marina, you can get showers, you can take advantage of it.
Oh, that's nice.
But there is a monthly fee, and you're not in front of houses, you're in front of a marina. So,
Okay.
so
Yeah,
it's
it makes a difference.
And I imagine there's some kind of beautification that they expect that the boat looks respectable as well.
Good.
Just to follow up, because I know we're running short on time,
Yeah.
to follow up on what we had talked about earlier,
Yeah.
that there are ways to get into buying after foreclosures and
Yes.
after short sales. We don't have the time to get into it now, but if you want to find out about these day after foreclosure, day after short sale programs, call us at 772-444-2590. We'll hook you up with one of the mortgage brokers that we talk with, and they can get you more information about
Yeah, and I tell you, if you even consider, because even now I know there's people out there. And going back and forth between should I foreclose, should I just leave it go? Yeah, you know what? It could probably be easier for you to do it that way, just to forget it. But you know what? If you find the
your
right
options.
realtor, and the right, you'll be able to have some great options. So we want to thank everybody for listening to True Radio, Treasure Coast Real Estate Unleashed. Scott McAllister, George Matter, and Carol Morgan. And as always, we end the show with our quote. Of course, Tony Robbins has been my hot stuff now. So that didn't sound right. That didn't sound right. Stay committed to your decisions, but stay flexible in your approach.
Now we know he's sending the flowers too.
Yeah.
Treasure Coast Real Estate Unleashed. Everybody have a fabulous weekend, and we'll see you next Friday right here on WSTU 1450.